And welcome back to Who Would Win. So it's Halloween, so we're doing our Halloween Who Would Win. And the Halloween Who Would Win this week is a fan favorite one. I've actually found out that it's Dante versus Alucard. Alucard from Hellsing and Dante from Devil May Cry. Now, I have to be very clear about what the types of characters I'm using in this fight. Dante is pretty much Dante, but we gotta use not post, or I should say a pre Schrodinger melding Alucard, because otherwise we're dealing with someone who is basically completely and utterly immortal and omnipotent. So we have to use non-Schrodinger soul swallowed Alucard. So this is him before that. This is everything before that. Now, Alucard, I'll start with, stands at roughly 6'3" at about 185 pounds and is standard form. He can change his form, his shape, whatnot. He can be a... Guess where I hurt someone. He can take the form of a kid or an old man or anything like that. He can basically just change how he looks. Now, he usually has that standard appearance, the red coat, but he's got multiple other appearances that coincide with his abilities. He's extreme. He's both a calm individual and a ruthless individual. He is a tyrant, a warlord at heart. He's a battle lover. He as someone once put it, he doesn't kill you, he breaks you. He loves to toy with his opponents. He'll sometimes take injuries and just, shrug them off because of his vast amount of regeneration powers we'll get to in a second. And then be like, no, I'm just kidding. Time to kill you, bitches. That being said, he's also, he's actually fairly strategic in many ways, too. He's been shown to use opponents' weakness abilities against them. He targeted the Nail and Anderson during their fight. He's known for using tactics like trying to sneak up on you. So when he was using his fight against Walter, even though that didn't work out in his advantage in the end. When fighting Rumpelstiltskin, he caught her bullet, so with ease. So he's got centuries worth of battle experience under his belt. Let's be clear about that too. Now, it's been readily put on. It's been on record saying that he says only a man can kill a monster. Only a man can kill a monster. So basically, more or less, he's saying only a man can kill him. Only someone who is very much a man can kill him. So, yeah, he's got that going for him. And then we get into all of this laundry list of abilities. Now, I'll go over a few key ones, specifically, like the regeneration and immortality, all that stuff. But we'll just briefly glance over some of the lesser ones. Like, for instance, he's got minor telepathic abilities, and there's some wind, baby. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You might see some leaves blowing around soon. There's some wind. Yeah. Halloween, baby. Halloween. So, it's a minor telepathy. You can kind of speak with Sarah, and probably in turn maybe with, like, oh, man. Why am I blanking on this? Not Victorious. Sarah is the one... why am I blanking on his master's name? Integra. Why was I blanking on Integra Helsing's name? But yeah, you probably do that too. He can manipulate the shadows. We kind of see that a little bit. He can teleport occasionally. Weird. He can phase through things. I don't think he uses that in combat. But then we get to some of his key things, like his immortality. Now, there's no real clear-cut way to define his immortality at that point. He even says he's no such thing as a true immortal, even though he kind of is. The theory is that his immortality, whenever he's basically going to be killed or take a lethal hit, one of the many souls he's absorbed that takes the hit for him is killed. And he also, and it lends credence to the fact that in order to regain himself at the end of the series from the whole Schrodinger effect, I'm possibly mispronouncing the name, I apologize, he had to kill every soul but one, Schrodinger's. So it's possible that is the way it's going. And for the sake of this fight, let's go with that. But that being said, he's also very highly regenerative, to the point where he can regenerate from a puddle of blood and turn into shadowy substances. He's very skilled in just effects. He's so invulnerable to a point of regeneration that the only things that really hurt him are holy weapons, like the holiest of weapons, like from the Vatican and things along those lines. I mean, in terms of actually doing maybe some lasting damage. Even though then, those don't last very long. And then we get into things like he's got heightened strength, heightened agility, super accuracy. He's, he can summon... We'll get to the summons in just a minute. But he can as I said, control shadows. He's, let's see, what are they? He can manipulate blood. He's got hypnosis. He's got necromancy. He's actually got some precognitive abilities, apparently. Let's let him kind of predict his foes. And, of course, he's got the release dates. Now, let's talk about his weapons for us. He wields the Callus or Cassis or something like that. It's got, basically holds a magazine, roughly 13 explosive rounds with mercury shavings and things along those lines. And then he wields the Jackal, which has explosive, armor-piercing rounds blessed with blessed mercury, basically. That was designed to take on Alexander, who had a regenerative capability, and it was actually very effective against him. Now, going on to his release dates. Now, it says he's got 6 levels of release, with 0 being the highest level, more or less, meaning level where he's most powerful. We only ever see 3 to 0 in the series, and releases the restraints 3 through 1. He takes on the leather jacket appearance. He prefers hand-to-hand combat. He summons his Hellhound, which can do a whole bunch of stuff, and then he can still use his guns too. And then level 0, where he basically reverts to his original form, Vlad, and he's this warrior with a long sword, extremely proficient combatant. So he can summon all his familiars, people he's absorbed, and we'll include Rumpelstiltskin and Luke Valentine, and then Dublacar, the card guy. So there was that as well. Now, he's not invincible. Before the whole omnipotent thing, he's not invincible. He's been killed before on several occasions. And he states, only man can kill a monster, and he longs for a good, worthy opponent to end his life up until, the end of the series. So, even though he'll fight to the bitter end, he does wish for death. He hates the fact that he chose a coward's way for immortality. He says if you want immortality, you've got to earn it, more or less. And that's Alucard's view on it, that if you're not worthy of something, you shouldn't have claimed it. So, Alucard is one of the strongest motherfuckers in anime history. So, that's Alucard. Now, Dante was a bit more hard to figure out his stats. People estimate him roughly about 6 foot even, give or take. And I estimated him, given his size, maybe about 175, not including his sword. Now, he's half demon, so he's half human. He's got a very almost Deadpool-like personality. He's foul-mouthed. He just cracks wise all the time. He loves fighting as well. He just digs it. He loves a strong opponent, holds back against weaker ones, but he finds a worthy one, he will not hold back. Like Alucard, he's got a high regenerative factor, in fact, shrugging off things like gunshots to the head and stabs impalements through a sword. Now, he's gone toe-to-toe with demons as strong as his father, who was leveled as a god, and he was leveled stronger as that, so he's got god-level abilities. Now, that being said, he's strong enough to shatter stone. He actually has telekinesis that can stop a car in flight. He's got an Olympic-level physique on average. This is not including his demon abilities. Fast enough to dodge close-range gunfire, and appears so fast that he appears to teleport. He does not teleport. He's got high heat resistance. Probably due to his demon blood, and super regeneration against staved off impalement and a gunshot from him to the head, and just kept going. Now, he has something called a double trigger, which allows him to go full demon. This heightens all of his abilities to the max. At a point, he's immune to blowback, meaning if he's attacking and gets hit, it's not going to stop his attack. He's just going to get hit and he keeps attacking. He's a near master of any form of combat weaponry. I couldn't find a lot of his demon's triggers abilities, apart from that he's just a super heightened version of immensely powerful version, basically on god level tier. He's considered probably the strongest being in his respective universe, alongside Alucard in his respective universe. Now, he also wields 2 weapons. He wields 3. He wields a sword and 2 guns. He wields the Ebony and Ivory. Ebony is used for rapid-fire quick draw, and Ivory is used for long distance. He also wields the Rebellion, the massive broadsword, and the, one second, where is it? He is also owner of I think it's called the Dark Edge, which is his father's sword. Both are magical swords. Doesn't really say what they do. I think they're just really super powerful swords. I could be very wrong in that. And he can, embellish his demon energy in all these things, giving him, like, demon gunshots and things along those lines. But he's not invulnerable either. I mean, he's not immortal as far as I can tell. He's just extremely high powered regenerative abilities and a half demon. Now, he has a moral side. He actually serves humanity fairly well. He believes, he won't hurt a human. In fact, he even welcomes demons who want to help humanity out. So, that's my information I can find on Dante. Now, before we even get into this fight, we got to address the question, does Dante qualify enough as a man to kill Alucard? And I spoke with Mark about this after thinking about this a long while, just to be understanding if I should even do this fight or not, if it's even worth it. Yeah, I think he does qualify to a degree. And the way I say this is like this. Anderson qualified as a human. Alucard was waiting for him to kill him, but then he took the nail and became one of God's monsters. He chose that route. The Major, a cyborg, a robot even, but he said he considered himself human because what's mine is mine. He didn't take any luxuries out. He didn't take immortality. He became a robot instead, but he's still human, as he puts it. That one's debatable. The one that I actually consider a feasible reason why Dante qualifies is Walter. Walter got a vampire body that was rapidly de-aging. And Alucard even said he missed his chance to kill him in their fight. That means Walter was capable of killing him. Walter was actually dominating them a lot in their fight. A lot in their fight. And he missed his chance to kill him, basically. And that's when Alucard did the blood. He has also had necromancy, basically, and blood manipulation. So, yeah, I think to an extent Dante does qualify. Now, the way this fight breaks down is like this. I think maybe Dante hears about Alucard, this vampire, and Alucard just doesn't care. So they meet off, and exchanges are made, and they begin their fight. Now, the fight would probably break down. Alucard goes for his gun, starts shooting him. Now, the Callus would not do anything to would not hurt Dante. Well, I mean, it might hurt him, might feel pain, but it's not going to kill him by any stretch of me. He survives gunshot all the time. The Jackal was designed for someone like him, a.k.a. Anderson. So he may see the thing of the Jackal, and that being said, he's fast enough to avoid these gunfires, and he pulls out his own guns at the same time. Now, there's going to be just a battling of just bullets at that point, and neither one of them is going to have the edge. So that's where he forgoes it at that point. Dante begins to do a close hand-to-hand combat, and to which Alucard has vast years of experience, but we rarely ever see him actually use any sort of technique. I think in terms of actual mastery of fighting styles, I think Dante might actually be a bit more skilled in that regard than Alucard. So they're going to exchange some blows. Alucard's going to take some hits, but he'll keep going, no problem whatsoever. Then Then Dante pulls out a sword and just cuts him in half. It's like, done. But then just like, wonderful, wonderful. Is that all you've got? Dante will just be like, and then just has the gun there, just so that's how that's going to go. The fight's going to go break down, and neither of them is going to have a clear advantage at that state. Now, Alucard would even release restraints, 1 through 3. And then things are going to change up a bit. Now Alucard's got a strength advantage over him. Now he's far more combat oriented. He's got the hound. He can still use the guns. So overall, now it's a bit more tougher fight for Dante. But Dante's been shown using telepathy on a couple telekinesis. So at one point, maybe he fires a gun and Dante just goes, I was like, huh? And Alucard's been taken by surprise several times before. He's just not expecting something. So he'd be like, huh? Gets a shot to the head. It's like, doom. It's like, is that all you've got? The hound comes back again. So this time, is like, screw it. He activates his demon trigger and just starts to wail on the hound, wail on Alucard. So Alucard, I'm going to say telepathically asked Integra, who's probably even somehow aware of all this fight going down. It's like, maybe she's watching it like she did in the Battle of London, where she's watching him just go at it. And it's like, you have my permission. It's like, I am the bird of Hermes, eating my wings so I may be free. And then, releases his level 0. So now he's Vlad. Now he is his most powerful form, more or less. And he's got all these familiars. Now, Dante, that being said, will probably wail through a lot of those familiars. But that's a lot of numbers I don't think even he's prepared for. So that might start to overwhelm him, but he will keep up the good fight. His regenerative capabilities will be heightened to that point, so they probably won't be able to do much to him. They'll continue fighting back and forth, and then eventually he'll get to Vlad, and they'll have a clash of swords. Now, at that point, we're calling him Alucard. Vlad, Alucard form, is at level 0. He's going to have the edge in swordsmanship at that point. If you even see him in this fight with Alexander, Anderson, he was owning that fight. He was a skilled swordsman to the umpteenth degree. So it's going to be just a clash of blades. Then he's going to fire a gun and just shoot him, and he's going to get hit. Probably with a jack, more or less. He's going to maybe get a bullet through the chest there and be like, ugh. But he'll probably regenerate okay in his demon trigger form. Then he'll back up and say, yes, come, your dragon waits. It's like only a man can kill a monster. And Dante's not an idiot. Dante's a smart man. He'll hear that. And here's where I said kinda qualifies. In demon trigger form, his technically strongest form, doesn't qualify to kill Alucard. And his normal form, being half human, he did not take immortality. He did not take this offer. He accepted what he was. But he did not take the coward's way out. He has the mentality of a human being. He has the personality and the spirit and the soul of a human being, I believe. He just happens to have the powers of a demon as well. So I believe, and born that way, so I believe that is why he qualifies to be able to kill Alucard. So after that, the fight continues. Now, it's been a long, drawn-out fight to this point, and neither of them will really be tired. So it comes down to who's going to get that lucky kill shot in. Because the way to kill Alucard would basically just pierce the heart. That's basically the way it would be. So he's got to get a sword to the heart. Unfortunately, it's going to probably play out where Alucard, at this point, back in Alucard form, with his guns, going to be blocking one with the swords, and it's going to be ching, flip, and I believe the deciding factor, and let's be clear, I said the deciding factor. This is one of the closest matches I do. In any other scenario, this is like the majority rules vote. I'm not even going to do a percentage. This is the majority of the time by the slimmest margin. So it's going to be blocks the sword, turns, jackal to Dante's head, blows his head clean off. And while I believe he's got high regenerative capabilities, I don't recall him ever regrowing his head. So I believe Alucard does win this, but I believe it's actually a pretty damn close match between the two of these guys. Because, as Mark put it, they're very Mary Sue characters. We're going to write them in a way that they cannot be defeated. So, yeah. Sorry, that was Mark. So, in the long run, fine. If I can give a percentage, 55% of the time Alucard wins, but 45% of the time Dante wins. It's just going to be a matter of who outclasses who, and I believe that Alucard's centuries worth of combat experience wins out over Dante's just natural skill. So that's my who would win for Halloween. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I will see you.